What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Commanders Daily. I'm your host, Bob Matthews, here on the Fan Arch Network. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get this delivered to you every day. We are going to be here 5 days a week, every month of the year, keeping you up to date on the latest with the Local 52, better known as the Washington Commanders. Every day, you can see what we do. 4 different topics. We'll catch you up on all 4 of them, let you know what's going on. Starting out today, obviously, the latest as the Commanders and their staff come back from the NFL's winter meetings is draft. Comes up the end of April. First mock draft that I've seen in at least a couple of weeks is out, has the Commanders going cornerback, CB, cornerback, there with their first pick. Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. Now, this was one of the NFL.com's mock drafts. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah. Can't remember exactly. Nevertheless, that is beside the point. But he's got Trey Amos, as I said, cornerback from Ole Miss, going to the Commanders with the 29th pick in the draft. Wouldn't be a bad pick. I saw him a little bit last fall. Kid's good. He's big, which is what you need now. You need that size for a lockdown corner. The days of, unfortunately, your Darrell Greens are probably long gone. So at 6'1" and 195, he's the kind of a guy that they need in the defensive backfield. And for the reason that we've talked about so many times before, what the Commanders have to do now is not so much build a roster. You're always building a roster, but what they have to do is not just lay a foundation. That's been done. And of course, with Jaden Daniels, it was done pretty quick. Now, what they have to do is figure out, what do we need specifically to compete with Philadelphia in the NFC East? Because the Eagles are the class of the division, obviously. And Amos is one of those guys that, at least on paper, would be able to help. Again, 6'1", 195, that's the kind of a guy you can line up one-on-one with A.J. Brown and lock him down. Yes, I know. And yes, Adam Peters did spend draft capital to get Marshawn Lattimore in here last year, and I think that was a good move. The thing about it is, it's not just one guy. You have got to be able to go 2 and 3 and 4 deep. If you can do that, then you've got a chance at upending the Eagles, which I think is possible. Philly lost some guys in the offseason to free agency, so while I'd still make them the pick to win the division, I do think that there are some openings there, and with Adam Peters' track record, you got to think that he will definitely be able to close the gap with Philly. All right, topic number 2. Things are bad in Dallas. Yep, and I am here for it. It really is a shame that we've got to watch the Cowboys kind of flail around here. Jerry Jones quoted, and I think it was on his weekly radio appearance in Dallas, saying that he hasn't talked to Micah Parsons' agent when discussing Micah Parsons' new contract. They're trying to get him extended here, but Jerry went on the air and said that he not only has he not talked to Micah Parsons' agent, he's not really sure who that person is, and that he and Micah are just going to work it out amongst themselves. Well, number one, that's not going to happen. That goes against the collective bargaining agreement. But 2, Micah Parsons' agent is David Mulugeta, who is one of the biggest and the best agents in the league right now. Parsons tweeted out something to the extent of, yeah, that's not happening, not doing a deal without David. But hey, if that's what Jerry Jones wants to do, I am absolutely fine with that. As I have told my friends before that are Cowboys fans, all Jerry needs to do is keep on doing what he's been doing. It's amazing, when you think about it. What we see in Dallas is what we have seen we had seen before last year, the past 25 years in D.C., with an owner that just is not going to let his team win. And I think that's where the Cowboys are right now. They're not going to win with Jerry Jones as the owner anymore. I hope he enjoyed those 3 Super Bowls that Jimmy Johnson gave him. Okay, 2 from Jimmy, 1 from Barry, but again, still pretty much all Jimmy all the time. Because the way it's going, I don't. I don't see. I don't see Jerry getting another Super Bowl before it's all said and done, and that's just a real shame, isn't it? Over under win totals. Had Las Vegas come out with some of those futures bets earlier in the week, and I heard some people kind of have some agita over the fact that I think Washington's number the last time I looked at it was 8.5. Obviously, that's way too low, but you got to remember, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this just shows you that Vegas thinks that the Commanders are going to take a step back next year." All right, technically, yeah, they could take a step back, but a step back is going to be 10 or 11 wins. Uh, you've got to remember that what Las Vegas is trying to do is get action on the Commanders. So if you set it at that, you figure you can get a lot of people to, put money on the over, and that's what they're doing. Is they're trying to attract as many bettors as they can. And I wouldn't put much stock into those over and under numbers because it always undervalues most teams. And yeah, every year somebody that's expected to contend, falls apart. Somebody that's expected to be at the bottom of the league winds up contending. But when you got a franchise quarterback like fortunately the Commanders have now, hey, it makes it so much easier. And I would definitely give Washington the benefit of the doubt and bet the over on that one. Finally, I heard some talk earlier this week about the schedule. I think yesterday when we were with you, we mentioned the fact that the NFL is adding a third game to Christmas Day. So you're going to have a noon game, a 4 o'clock game, and then an 8 o'clock game. Those times are, rough times there. But it got me to thinking, and I think one of the things that you can definitely look at, although we're not going to know the official schedule and how everything's going to shake out until May, I think one of the things you can say is that you probably say goodbye to a lot of those early window 1 o'clock games for the Commanders. It's a brave new world. And what you got to realize now is that Washington is one of those teams that people want to see. I know it has not been that way until last year for about 25 or 30 seasons, but the Commanders are once again a marquee team. What that means as far as viewing goes this fall is I think you're going to see a lot of 425 games. You're going to see, at least at first, you're going to see a lot of Sunday night games. And I can't guarantee it. I am about 90%, 99% sure you're going to see the Commanders either play on Thanksgiving and probably prime time Thanksgiving or on Christmas Day. One of those two. I also would not rule out the possibility of one of their games being international. They've got both the Chargers and the Dolphins on the schedule. Both of those teams have games overseas next year. Might want to get your passports ready if you're thinking about making it to a road game with the Commanders this season. All right, we got to get out of here. That's all the time we have for today. Hey, don't forget, hit like and subscribe and get this delivered to your box every single solitary day. See you again tomorrow. And remember, as always, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.